would like to welcome you, our esteemed viewers here on GBS TV. And also today, inside in Focus program, we have our guest. And the name of our guest is Professor Dr. Peter Baofu. He's an American visionary. He has written 179 books which talks about, politics, mind, and also culture, as well as the society. And Professor Dr. Peter Baofu has traveled in over 132 countries around the world. And we are privileged to have him today here on GBS TV. So, Professor Peter Baofu, I would like to welcome you to our TV station. And would you mind if you can reintroduce yourself to the audience so that they can know more about you?
So let me say thank you for inviting me first. As you said, I am an American visionary and author of 179 books in all fields of knowledge, and I have proposed more than 145 different new visions and new theories of the human future in relation to the mind, nature, society, and culture. Which means that I have written on all of them and proposed many different visions in the formal sciences, the natural sciences, the social sciences, and the humanities in all fields of knowledge, not just in relation to one culture and one society, but about the entire planet Earth. So that is a very important project that I'm doing, and I have been in more than 132 different countries by now, and by the end of my trip, it could be probably more than 150 or 60 different countries, all over the world, in all civilizations. And the reason I do that is because I want to understand humanity on the ground, not just by written books in a library and all that. That is very easy for me to do, but I want to go to each of them so that I can understand them firsthand, and I want to propose solutions to many of the problems, confronting, again, not just one country, one culture, one ethnic group, but for the entire planet Earth. And that is exactly what I do, and so that's why I'm here in Malawi, which is part of Africa, and I should also look into Africa too.
So thank you very much for coming on GBS TV. I want to understand on the same note, human rights. We have heard that in China, a citizen cannot, speak against the leadership of China. And once you do that, you'll be apprehended. We have heard about that, but I want to hear from you. Is it true? Because we think that it's against human rights. Because if he has got something to express, he has to free express, and that is what is happening in America. But in China, I don't see it. Even North Korea, if you do that, you become the enemy of the government. And does you call this human rights?
No, I think that you are repeating Western propaganda here. Let me tell you why. Number one correction. Each country has different political values and beliefs. None of them is perfect. Each society is good in something, but not good in something else. Let me give you one analogy. I'm a scholar. I'm good in debating about ideas, but I'm not good at all in boxing. If I'm not good in boxing, doesn't mean that I'm not good myself. Now, let's say you are Muhammad Ali. You are very good in boxing. Doesn't mean that you are superior to me. Yours is better than mine now. Because you are good in boxing, I'm not. But I'm good in scholarship, but you are not. It's just an analogy. Now, what I mean is that each society has something good, something they are not that good at. In the case of China, you talk about this kind of, you cannot speak out. Well, do you know that in the U.S., if you speak out against the U.S. government, you are in trouble too? Look at that. Let me give you one example. The war on Iraq, at that time, there were some people that spoke out. What happened to those people? In America, just like in many other countries, you are okay if you criticize your enemy. Bravo, number one. But what if you criticize the U.S. government? Do you know Noam Chomsky? Do you know who he is? Noam Chomsky is a well-known scholar at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. You know what? Chomsky is marginalized in American politics. Why? Because he's critical to U.S. foreign policy. In the U.S., just like in many other countries, you criticize your government, you are in trouble. But if you criticize other government which are the enemy of the U.S., you are number one. The same thing in Russia. You criticize Putin, you could be in trouble. If you criticize the U.S., people say you are number one. You are invited on TV all the time. In China, the same thing. You criticize the U.S., you are number one. But if you criticize Chinese government, you are in trouble too. Now, different society, they have their own way to control dissent. Okay? In Saudi Arabia, they may behead you. In the U.S., you are marginalized. You have no future in American politics. You are silenced. Just like a man and a woman. A man, when they fight, they can punch the hell out of you. Violence. A woman, when they fight, they don't do that because they don't have the power, but they will spread gossip about you. They will say, you raped me last night, and ask the police to arrest you. They have different way to fight back. So, but you don't expect them to fight in the same way. Each of them fight in their own way, which is their strength. In warfare, we call that asymmetric warfare. Look at Ukraine and Russia now. Russia come in, bomb the hell out of Ukraine because they have the power. Ukraine doesn't have that power. They cannot fight like Russia. They fight asymmetric warfare. They send out some drones. They try to attack, send some special forces, secretly, hiddenly attack Russia. They don't fight the same way, but each of them fight back. It's life, number one. Number two, that's also not correct because look at the US and China again. There are a lot of things which are good about the US that does not have, but there are also a lot of good things which are good in China that the US does not have. Look at violence and killing. Every week in the US nowadays, you call someone get killed, shooting, violence. Have you ever heard about that? Almost every week, someone get killed, some have a gun, shoot at someone. In China, you cannot do that. There's security. There's a question of human right too. They have the freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from violence, from getting killed on the street. In China, you are a woman, you work late at night, it's okay. In America, you are a woman, you work late at night. In America, you have a lot of homeless. In China, you don't have a lot of homeless. That is provision, the social welfare. You see that? There's a question of human rights. Why come you don't talk about it? My point is, each society has something good about them, something bad about them. Propaganda is to portray, demonize those that you do not like. Talk about the bad things about them. You don't talk about the good things. On the other hand, you spend a lot of time talking about the good thing that you have. You never talk about the bad thing that you have. That is the repetition of propaganda. You may want to go to live in China. I was a U.S. Fulbright scholar in China for 1 year. I studied the society firsthand. I'm not from China. I studied them firsthand as a U.S. Fulbright scholar. I interviewed a lot of people. It's not what you think in Western mass media. You should go there and watch for yourself. So there are a lot of good things about them. There are also a lot of bad things about them. Look at all this money the U.S. has been spending on the military. Do you know why the U.S. has spent so much money on the military? There are more than 1,000 military bases that the U.S. all over the world. How come you don't spend all this money on healthcare, on education, on infrastructure, on many other things? There are a lot of poor people in the U.S. too. China, on the other hand, do not spend so much money. They spend a lot of money funding job, infrastructure, education, clinic, hospital, bridges. That's why they have this tremendous success, economic miracle in the last few decades. The government work hard. Look at the infrastructure in China now. Everywhere you go, the roads, the bridges, the clinics, the hospital, they are much better than those in the U.S. Now, how about that? So before you criticize, understand the biases that you have. Now, I'm not defending both. I'm trying to say I have been in more than 132 different countries now. Everywhere I go, I see something good about. Look at Africa even. In Western mass media, they think that people like you are no good. You black people are no good. The Africans, Trump said that African countries are shithole countries. You understand that? Now, I do not believe that because I have been here. There are a lot of good things about Africa too, but Western mass media don't talk about that. You have to avoid those propaganda. There are a lot of good things about Africa. Western mass media don't talk about people like you in a good way.
So, I would like to appreciate for all the answers to all my questions. Our viewers, that was our talk with Professor Dr. Peter Baofu. I'm sure that you have entered deeply into the world and what is happening. I'm sure that you have learned a lot. Thank you very much for being there to watch our TV station, GBS, on the In Focus program. Thank you very much. Till we meet next time. Thank you.